This episode is with GUAB Outdoors. It's a funny name, but they talk about why it's named that. But this is my buddy Joey and Isaac. I just met Isaac at the Hunt Expo, but I've known Joey for a couple years now, and they started this outdoor channel, GUAB Outdoors, just recently. So it's kind of fun to kind of see this. It's a really young brand, but they're starting it, and they've got some cool stuff happening, and they're just learning and growing, and they've got a lot of fire underneath them to work on this outdoor company. So they have a YouTube channel, they've got Instagram, and they have some cool information on there, and they're going to be working on some films and stuff this year. We kind of talk a little bit about it. We talk about their last season hunting, and they're just good dudes. They're like similar to my age, so they're young dudes getting into it and just grinding, and it's awesome to see. So hope you guys enjoy this episode. Thanks for watching. Here you go. Yeah, that's good.
I saw you guys had snow up there in Idaho.
Yeah, snowing today.
Figures.
Which wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad. Like, I mean, that's like barely stopped recently, but it's like super slushy because it was like 40 degrees today, but it was still snowing. So.
Oh, dang. Hey,
Dang.
I mean, it's better than some winters in that part, man. So.
No, it's true. And it's supposed to be like sunny, and it's supposed to be 50 degrees on Monday, which is wild.
Really? In Eastern
up here.
Idaho?
Yeah, I know.
Gee.
Freaking pumped, dude. Get that snow out of here and go bear hunting.
Yeah, no kidding. Dude, that season's coming up soon. I'm stoked.
Wow. Yeah, you guys are going to go, right?
Yep. I bought a Wyoming tag, which is a statewide tag, right? And I'm actually going to go with my buddy Addison. He's over in that area too. So his family's originally from his hometown, Farmington, which is where I'm from, but they moved to Wyoming, and so a lot of places in Wyoming apparently you have to have like a resident guide, at least for wilderness areas if you're going to hunt bears up there. And so he's going to be kind of like the resident guide or whatever. And then Isaac's coming along for the ride. He's going to film it. So
yeah,
it's going to be rad.
Take all the tips I can get from you, Logan.
Yeah. No, dude, that would be awesome. Filming's fun. I mean, like for me, like going out and filming a hunt is almost just as fun as like hunting, because you still get to experience everything, and like you get to be there and help out, and it's pretty cool. So
yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Have you filmed any hunts before?
We've done just like snippets and stuff from some hunts. I've only ever used the good old iPhone, you know. Yeah, it's great. It works good. You get good footage.
Nice.
Gets you through the winter.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Logan, we were actually talking, Isaac and I today earlier, and we watched your video with Graylight. We've both seen both versions, which they're pretty similar, but we were like, man, Logan's got a cool aesthetic, man. Like the way that you make it in art is just so cool. Like something that, I mean, I know at least us, we really want to emulate. So
yeah. Well, thanks, dude.
Sure.
Yeah, I filmed that one, and Scree just paid for all the raw footage, so I just gave everything to him, which was fine. I didn't know that they were even gonna like edit it and make a film out of it. I didn't know when they were going to, what their plan was, and they just randomly posted it. And it's a bit of a bummer, because it was like it's even for me, like if I'm trying to hunt or edit a film that I wasn't actually there filming, it's hard to put together like the story of like how you saw it happen. So they did a good job putting the film together, but I just felt like I could like kind of make the story just go a little bit smoother and just kind of put my own touch on it. And so nothing's wrong with their version, right? It's just like I wanted to like kind of show my own my view of it, and it turned out pretty good. Actually, I'm really proud of how that one turned out. And I didn't even mean to, but like in that film there was a lot of that character and character development, like, and I've got that a lot from people talking about it, where it's like you see Marlin and just the way that he acts in the mountains and the way that the story flowed, you kind of got to really see his personality in the mountains, which he's a super interesting guy. You probably saw it when you watched the video. So that was a fun one.
Well, he also taught me that you can find blueberries above 13,000 feet, so I think I'll be looking.
Yeah, I had no clue. He's over there.
I'm at that.
Just like bends down, dude, and starts picking blueberries. I'm like, what the heck?
Well, it reminds me because where we do most of our general season hunting, there's currant berries, and so I remember like last year, we probably were being malnourished with what we brought. We brought a bunch of canned soup because I don't know, we packed a bunch in, and this was on our deer hunt, and so it was like the end of August. But we ran into so many patches of currant berries, and it was like, oh my gosh, I have to say a prayer of gratitude for these because it's something fresh.
Yeah,
they're the only carbs we had for like 3 days.
Something
crazy.
Like that.
We could plan better.
Yeah, food's tough in the backcountry sometimes. Just packing enough and stuff and knowing how much you need. But
no, it takes some real planning and preparation.
Yeah. So, how long have you guys known each other?
Since it would have been like in junior high, right?
Okay, so you guys have like known each other for a while.
7th, 8th grade. Yeah. I'm from Centerville. He's from Farmington. Yeah.
Right. Cool. Have you hunted together for a while?
I grew up hunting. It's just like a family tradition, right? I never grew up bow hunting. So bow hunting is something that I've been into for like probably the last. It's probably been about 8 or 9 years since I've really gotten into it. But that's my side of the story, Isaac. I don't know if you have something else.
I didn't grow up hunting at all. I remember growing up, like all of our friends, we all knew Joey hunted. He was always, in the mountains, whatever. And I was always in the mountains, but never hunting. And then it was probably 4 years ago now when Joey took me on an elk hunt and joined him. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is where it's at right here. Like, get me a tag, So ever since then, we've hunted together quite a bit with some other buddies too. It's been fun.
Nice, dude. That's cool. And then let's kind of talk about what you guys have going on right now. Tell me about your outdoor channel and just like where that started.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so we call ourselves GUAB Outdoors, and we can kind of get into the name a little bit later, because it is a funny sounding name. We understand that it's kind of meant to be that way. No, originally, we were consumers of outdoor media, especially hunting media. I know, especially for me, as you might have a different story, but I grew up, and I listened to hunting podcasts. I would watch Solo Hunter with Remy Warren was like the first big thing that got me hooked on like hunting.
Me too. That was my thing, dude. Yep, I had the CDs.
For real?
Yeah, bro.
No way. I would just watch them on YouTube, but I remember like every Thursday, my dad would be like, "Hey Joe, let's go ahead and watch like 1 or 2 of these videos," and we would just our mouths would be gaping with how big of creatures we would see on those videos. Yeah. And so like for me, that kind of became a dream of that's something I want to pursue. I like that. I like the media behind the outdoor world, and I think that it can be portrayed in a really good way if it's handled with care. And so we don't really have a business quite yet. That's something that we're kind of working towards. But we've started an Instagram page as well as a YouTube channel, just at GUAB Outdoors, if any of you listeners are curious. And we're basically going to focus on, we like to share footage. That's like the biggest thing for us. But we kind of want to build a community of people who use, sort of a sense of discipline in their daily lives. Like for me, I'm always thinking about being in the backcountry And I understand that it takes like a lot of discipline, both with my life outside of the backcountry as well as with my life preparing for it, in order to actually see things come to fruition, whether that's with GUAB Outdoors or whether that's just with a certain hunt, you know. And so we kind of want to build a community that's like-minded, disciplined in the way that they live their daily lives because of the way that they feel in the backcountry, you know. Isaac, I don't know if you have anything to add, but
yeah, no, I'd say that's perfect. I think, especially for me being newer to hunting now, you know, I mean, I've been a huge consumer of hunting media as well, you know, always YouTube. Like every night you're watching like videos, whatever. And it's definitely different things have definitely stood out to me. I think one thing that I really respect is when I see a guy that's out there and I feel like he's doing it ethically. You know, he's got the right reasons, and the way he portrays it is a way that I think if the majority of the public understood the way he thought about hunting and the way he actually thought about it, it would, you know, people wouldn't. There's all these people that get, you know, angry, whatever. They just don't understand. You say you're a hunter, and they're like, yeah, we all know. But I think it's just that's how we hunt. And it's not just how we hunt, it's how we're trying to live. And like Joey said, it's surrounding yourself with those people. And I think this is a way to increase the community of our community of these like-minded people that are just getting after it day in, day out, you know, off the mountain, on the mountain, wherever it is, just in life in general.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think that's good. You mentioned like you watch people and you can see that they have the right reasons and they love the hunting. Like how do you tell just by watching someone on film that they are like genuine and love what they do? Like how can you tell if they're the type of people that you want to be watching? I'm just curious. Like you can throw anything out there that just stands out.
I mean, the biggest one for me is showing the ups and the downs in hunting, especially. I mean, my experience has been there's a lot more downs than there is ups. A lot. Like it's incomparable, you know. And so, while it is important, I understand for your media to be focused on your successes and your not downfalls, so to speak, but kind of your failures. I also think there is value in showing that, yeah, maybe this person does have like a big influence, but that doesn't mean they're perfect at what they do. They're not perfect at hunting. I don't think anyone really is, and I think there's beauty in that. And so if you can get your message across that's, hey, you know what? Like, we're not seeing a whole lot today. Maybe we're doing like an elk hunt or something and we're not hearing bugles, or, you know, maybe during our bear hunt, especially, maybe we don't see some bears for like a few days, which is a real possibility, especially with, you know, that specific hunt. But if you can convey that message that failure is a real part of this, and then show your successes, I mean, that's as genuine as it gets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd add, like, I think this media that we consume, especially when we're getting started, can help motivate us to continue forward. You know, it makes us even more so want to get up in the mountains and stuff. But I know for me, when I'm seeing someone that, like Joey said, they're sharing everything, you know, they're not perfect. Because like we have days where we're out there glassing and like there's a buck we're hoping to see. He never shows, you know, we're just sad. We don't even see anything. But sometimes in the media it feels like, I don't know, maybe there are people that just never don't have success, you know? But sometimes it definitely seems like people just avoid that part. And it's not as relatable. So I think it just comes down to again, connection. Like we connect with people that have similar experiences to us, that, you know, they have the ups and downs. And honestly, like Joey said, those ups, they're easily high enough for us to keep on going, keep us moving forward. But yeah.
And also like there's a sense of unity, like teamwork and unity among it. Not that we're all like together in the same thing, but we all understand each other, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. I think that's good. I think that's, especially someone who's like trying to get into this, like that's a great thing to point out. Like Yeah, you want to show the ups and downs of the hunt because that's what really like makes that story relatable to people. I've been guilty of making a film that's just like all the sick stuff and all the cool footage because it's kind of all you capture.
Hey,
Because
I mean your high country mule deer hunt from last year, especially the film, like I feel like the story told in that one was perfect, and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I like to see in the media because you did. I mean, you were on a stock that failed, you know, and
yeah.
then you showed at the end like you know what actually happened with your successful stock, and it was like wow. I mean, okay, that's literally just how it is. Like our hunts are very similar to that.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's especially important with bow hunting because
Yeah.
it's not easy, right? We all know.
No, not easy at all. Yeah. All right, real quick, I wanted to jump in here and tell you about the discount code with the podcast. So if you use the code podcast15, all capitals, no spaces, on the website, you can actually get 15% off anything on the website. Bino visors or hoodies. And we have actually 3 different hoodies listed on the website right now. I have a bunch in stock, and then I've got a ton of Bino visors in stock as well. So use the code podcast15, save yourself some money. This is how I support myself right now, is making money off of some of these products that I've got. And so thank you all for the support. And if you haven't got a visor yet, go check those out. They literally will save your hunt if you're shooting or glassing into the sun. So thanks, you guys. Let's go back to this episode. How was your guys' season this last fall?
Dude, the season was good. It always is good, and it's always good for us to be out and about because it keeps us sane. But we had some pretty major misses that we can talk about. I'll go first because mine was. I mean, I don't know. Telling the story kind of makes it feel better. But so in Utah, I'm sure a lot of y'all are aware of the dedicated hunter program, which basically, you know, you can give community service hours basically that are always outdoor related to the state. And if you're part of the program, they'll give you 3 tags over 3 years. And you can harvest 2 deer with those tags. And so we've been doing that. This is actually our 2nd year. So last year was our first. We found just a really incredible spot where we are in Utah, in central Utah. And scouting it was a weekly thing for us. We would go up. I mean, we're working class right now, you know, so we could only go up on the weekends during scouting season. And that was honestly enough. We saw the age class of mule deer that were in that area, and you know, we saw a lot of good 160 to 170 class bucks. And so we knew that that's kind of where we wanted to focus. But there was also another spot on a different area in the unit that we were also intrigued by. So I'd say in this first spot, that's where we spent most of our time, especially during scouting season. And then there was that other spot. But the second spot was, we only spent a few days there. I think maybe 5 days total out of the entire hunting season in that spot. Just throughout archery and muzzleloader and I guess not muzzleloader, but rifle season as well. But actually, it's funny that I talk about that because there's kind of a mishap at the very beginning. This was a couple days after opening day. We were going up to that second spot. I was like, I don't know if you want to talk about that because you have a lot of that on film, but just about like coming up over that ridge and what we saw.
You can keep going.
I was just gonna say about like the fire.
Oh, on the fire. Oh yeah. So the spot, it was like, I don't know, it was a couple thousand feet up. You know, the hike honestly wasn't that long up, but it was just straight up and down. And we're going up at the beginning of the day. We got up at like 5 or so to start hiking up. And it literally takes us all day to get up to the top, mostly because we found a buck that Joey got on for a while, and then he ended up, we were waiting there kind of in a chess match with it for a while, but the buck ended up getting away. But we finally get to our spot on the top of this ridge, and we just see smoke, coming out of the trees. And we'd seen a hunter up on the ridge above us earlier, and so we're sitting there like, dang, did they or they just have a fire? Did they get something and they're eating it now? Like, what's going on? And then we noticed that as we get a little closer, dropping down on this ridge, we noticed that there's no one there. And so in our brains, I don't know, I can't speak for Joey, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, these idiots, like, did they just start a fire and leave it going and just, just leave? And so we're getting upset.
We're
and then
blaming
we walk
it
up
on the other people.
Oh yeah, we're just blaming the other hunters for sure. And we walk up,
That's
and it was
immaturity
just,
of us.
yeah, it was just some trees that had been struck by lightning. There was a thunderstorm the day before, and they were just on fire. And so we're like,
that's crazy.
Well, yeah, we're like, what do? We just spent all day getting up here. It's our spot, but it was we could tell it was too big for us to put out. Plus, there's like no water up here, and we had water, but like we didn't want to use all of our water. We were trying to be there all week, so we had to call in. We called in the fire crew. They flew down with a helicopter, scared all the bucks out of the country, and took care of it, which was good. But yeah, it was kind of a bummer to start off that was the third day of the hunt, first day up there.
Yeah, first day in that spot, because we were in the first spot that I was talking about, that on the opener.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it would have been the third day. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in the firefighters, there were a few of them. They're just like, hey, we saw some really nice bucks. I don't know if you have a buck tag. That were just running over the ridge as we dropped in. And we're like, yeah, we know those deer. They're gone.
Not that we're making excuses. I just thought, it was an interesting experience. I don't know. Like, it was very frightening for us.
Wow.
So, and then anyways, if you want to continue about talking about our season. So later in the hunt, this was during rifle season, so October in Utah. I went back to our first spot where we'd seen all those nice bucks, not the spot that had the fire, but I was with my dad actually. And we're probably, I want to say probably 9,500 feet in elevation, which can be, it can be a pro or a con during rifle season, at least what I've figured out to be. But we were just seeing a bunch of probably, I don't know, we weren't seeing the age class of deer we'd saw during the scouting season, which was kind of frustrating for us. But I was with my dad, and he's a very disciplined person, and I was like, maybe we should just switch spots. And he was like, no, we're going to see something. I promise, Joe. All of the work that you put into looking and researching these deer here, it's going to come to fruition today. And I was like, okay, we'll stay. So a few hours go by. We're just at the same glassing spot that we've been all day, but yeah, technically all year, because we just love that spot so much. And finally, I get a text from my dad, and he's like, hey, there's a buck over on this slope, which is a slope that we've been intrigued by for a few months. We've been intrigued by for a few months since then. So I was like, okay. And I hiked back to him. I was in a different spot, or a little bit of a different spot by then. And so we got our spotter on it, and it turned out to be a nice, something that I'd be happy with, which was a nice 160 typical 4x4 frame buck, just the exact type of thing that we'd been seeing all year up until that point. And so I was like, heck yeah, Dad, this is going to we're going to come to terms with this, and it's going to happen. And I was carrying a 300 Win Mag. He had a 308. We both had tags, but I worked my way over to a ridge where I thought I could get a good shot off. And I had to close the gap about 400 yards because it was probably about 1,000 yards away, or 900 yards away when we first spotted it. to close the gap that much, and it took a long time because the area we're hunting is super steep, and it was snowy and slushy, and honestly felt a little bit dangerous. And so I took my time, I eased into it, but eventually I got set up just on my pack with my rifle, and I took a shot. It was at like 530 some odd yards, missed. So I took another shot and I missed that again. And I was like, okay, the buck was bedded when I shot at it, and it was like dead asleep. So that woke it up, but it didn't spook it. So I was like, okay, sweet. Obviously, God's giving me another opportunity at this buck. So I work my way up the mountain to like the very tip top of the mountain so that I could work down and get maybe like not a cliff shot, but like a standing shot that was within 200 yards of this buck. And the entire process took me about 8 hours to close the distance, take those 2 shots, and then to get into position with the good less than 200 yard standing shot on top of it. And I waited and I waited, and I noticed the sun was going down a little bit, and I was like, okay, crap. Obviously I didn't really hear much from my dad because it's hard with that communication, especially in the backcountry and with, laws and whatnot. And so I thought I was exactly where I should have been. But what happened was I went behind it because there was a similar looking spot where I thought it was. And I was like, okay, it's not there. And then I made my way back down, looked back up, and I didn't see anything. So I was like, okay, crap. Little did I know, in the meantime, my dad was like watching both of us. He said I was within 100 yards of this buck, and I didn't spook it until I was on my way back. And so I had missed opportunities, but the heartbreak for me is kind of what is driving me right now, especially, when I'm in the gym every day. I'm like, you know what? Not that it necessarily matters, not that I was out of shape for that or anything, but I was like, it's just, what do they say on social media? They just say, yeah, it's gym motivation. It's like getting broken up with. It's just gym motivation. So
nice, dude. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you just learn now. Now you know. It's like maybe next time try and drop a pin or something, or like just try to look at the area a little different, whatever. Like now you know next time how you're going to do it different. So
yeah,
you learn.
Yeah. I think in retrospect, dropping a pin would have been good, but using the Onyx Hunt 3D feature really would have helped, because the way that buck was positioned it wasn't in like a flatland. It was on a slope, but it was kind of a hidden slope, and there was only a few ways you could see it, which was honestly, it doesn't surprise you with a nice mature mule deer, right? They're always finding those types of spots. But you can see those things on Onyx, and so it'd be a little easier to drop a pin, which we didn't do. So
yeah. Nice, dude. Isaac, did you hunt the rifle season too?
Yeah, I only got the first weekend because, again, being in school, and we know how it is. It's tough to get out. You're sitting in school. You're just like, I want to get out of here. Like, get me in the mountains. So I had the first weekend, and didn't turn out there. We ended up, as Joey was talking, I was just thinking of literally. So in Utah, your deer tag, if you have an archery tag, if you don't tag out on your unit, you can hunt the extended unit to November 30th. And so around Thanksgiving, we got out. Yeah, we got out a couple days. And I think it was like the last night we could have hunted, that last light. There had been this buck that I'd seen previously with my brother, a nice 4-point. He was rutting some does. And we had I had an opportunity at him right at the very, very end, last light. But Joey was up above. He was down in the straw, rutting the does. They're just moving. And so I was trying to cut around so I'd intercept them. And I think, Joey, you said it was I missed him by a minute or so, right? When I got down there.
Yeah, dude, he came out exactly. It was like a minute between you guys coming out. It was like, shit.
Yeah, and so that's like last light on the last light on like the last day. I had a deer tag in my pocket this year, so I'm like, so yeah, like Joey's motivated by that. It's kind of like a bitter taste in your mouth that just drive. I mean, it was fun, it was awesome, but it definitely is driving me forward right now, in the off season.
Nice, cool. So do you guys have are you so dedicated is like 2 years, right? Where you can kill, or is it 3 years? You can kill 2 deer, something like that.
Three, you can kill.
Yeah.
You have 2 deer in 3 years,
Okay.
so
So you guys both
we're
still
still
have
stacked.
your two deer, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
So the good
Cool.
thing is we learned what we needed to learn on our first year, especially
Yeah.
for the unit that we're tied down to. And now we have to take that knowledge into the next couple of years, and we can
Heck yeah.
still, harvest our limit with that program. So
Good. Awesome. And then you've kind of mentioned a couple things about your plans for this next year, but tell me about like what are your hunts coming up?
yeah, for sure. So obviously, I mean, we've talked about Wyoming bear. Archery
Yeah.
season actually starts in April, and I definitely will take my bow up during the time that the archery season is in play. I'm going to treat it more like a scouting season because I'm having some work done on my gun right now, and I want to be able to use it during the rifle season, which starts in May. So for me, like I've spent the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks just researching everything because this is my first bear hunt. I'm just researching everything there is to know about hunting bears in the spring, as well as e-scouting. Um, so yeah, I mean the focus is rifle season, but we just to get like a lay of the land, we're going to go up during archery season just to check things out. But
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Just kind of see what it's all about.
yeah,
Yeah. And I think from there, if I'm not mistaken, our next tags are just August archery deer. We'll probably get, and you try, if you are hunting with a bow, you can get the cow spike tag or like the any bull in I mean, the units that don't have as many elk, So I think we'll pick that up. But definitely, I mean, for me, I don't know what Joey's focus is. I've definitely focused on the deer, having seen them escape us last year. It's kind of what's moving me forward right now. So we should have those. I think maybe get a cow tag for rifle season, but
yeah. No, we're planning on getting cow tags during November with another buddy of ours. He did it last year and said it was a pretty incredible hunt. And so, I mean, the biggest thing for us is like we love meat, especially elk meat, and so yeah, like the experience is incredible, and we want to document that as good as possible. But the meat is also like that's where hunting started, and so cow elk hunt. We have a couple of points so we can burn them, but that's gonna be a good November thing.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
and then you're gonna film everything.
Yeah, we're gonna film everything this year. So
nice. Did you film? So
Isaac,
you mentioned, did you film some stuff last year?
We did. I think a lot of it more though is like last year. So Joey got a spotter last year. I've had just a Vortex spotter as well. So I had the mag view, and Joey didn't have a mag view this last year. So I was with the iPhone. I feel like mag view is the way you have. Yeah, it's the way you have to do it. So we have quite a bit of footage, but we didn't really put, since we didn't tag out, we didn't really put film together or anything.
Yeah. We didn't really document. Yeah, we mostly documented like the footage of the creatures, and we got some storytelling, footage as well. But I think that's where we've seen a need for improvement is actually getting footage that tells a story. And I'll refer back to your films, especially the one with Gray Light. I mean, that told a story really well. And so it's good that we have examples like you in the industry that really can show us what it's like to tell a story during our hunts. But yeah.
Nice. That'll be fun. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with this year on your films. It's good to just see some different perspectives and like different guys doing it and starting out, and like even if like when I was starting out, even if it was like a crappy film, like still put it out there because now you know how you're gonna do better in the next one, right?
So that's true. Yeah.
That's
true,
like,
man.
It'll be so rewarding just because, you know, I'm always going back every day. I'm just going through footage, honestly, especially this time of the year, you know. So it pays both ways, you know. Opportunity to share, but just have for yourself.
Yeah,
for sure.
Logan, I think I cut you off. You were gonna talk about either way, but I think you were starting to mention what you were gonna do this year, what you had planned.
Yeah, no, you're good, dude. You're good. There's some like lag in this, so it's a little bit. Sometimes it's funny, but no. So yeah, I've talked about it a couple times, but just real quick, like I'll have a Utah archer deer tag too. I should if I draw it, but there's a pretty dang good chance I draw it. So I should have that. And then I've got spring bear hunts this year. One is like a 9-day hunt, backpacking in with the bow. Gonna try and do it with a bow this year. And
with a bow. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see. The country that we hunt, it's like pretty conducive to stalking. It really is. So yeah, and I mean I've killed a bear there every year with my rifle for the last 2 years. So it's like I've killed 3 bears in there. So might as well
give it a go.
Give it a go with the bow, you know. And we have 9 days to do it. And we got 4 dudes going in, but we're gonna split into 2 groups of 2. So I mean, we're just gonna get after it, and we'll see how it goes. So that'll be fun. And then my wife wants to kill a bear with her rifle, so we'll try and do that on a weekend. But like you're saying, Isaac, I'm in school too, and my wife's in school, so it's like trying to freaking make it happen with that is tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
But, yeah.
No, for sure. I'm stoked to see what comes to y'all this year. I mean, it'll be super exciting. I mean, I know that we'll be able to see it on your channel and whatnot, and so. But when I think of spring bears, man, I think of you because I think you're probably the guy that got me into spring bear hunting. Like,
nice.
I mean, I've heard you talk about it before, and I've seen your films, man. Like, that's kind of the reason why I wanted to do it, because there's a certain, like, I don't know, like I said, there's a certain art to it, and it's different than like other big game hunts, and it'll be cool to finally get out and do something in the springtime, man. Besides turkey hunting, good grief.
I know. Yeah,
seriously,
dude. I know spring bear's fun. It's like it's kind of one of my favorite ones, just because it's a cool time of year. They're fun to hunt. I mean, it's like hunting a mule deer almost. Like it's the most similar, which is like also my favorite animal to hunt. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, Isaac, are you gonna get his bear tag?
No, I didn't get one. I'm just finishing up school, so I'll just focus on supporting. I was gonna say, as soon as spring bear's done, up in the high country for scouting season. So that's what moves us forward too.
Yeah.
Do you graduate soon? The giddiness. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No, good. I graduate in April, and then I'm just working on some applications for grad school. So
heck yeah, dude. That's
don't have my own tag, but yeah.
Go for it, Joey. Sorry I cut you off again.
Oh no, I was just saying, do you think that the excitement of getting up and getting scouting is kind of what pushes you out earlier and earlier this year? Each year, because I know each, like, when we're doing our scouting, like, we start going out early and earlier in the year so we can start scouting for our hunt in August, just because we want to be up there. Do you feel like that's what you experience as well?
Yeah, it depends on the area and how much time I've got. Because the last few years I've been working over the summer, like out of state. So and I usually get back around like the 1st of August. So I get a scout for like 2 weeks, right? This year I have like 3 areas I'm gonna try and scout for mule deer, which is kind of a lot. But I'm gonna have 3 deer tags because I'm gonna have 2 Idaho tags and the Utah tag. But I'm really focusing on two areas. So the Utah area and then an area up here in Idaho. And so the one I've hunted the one up here in Idaho, I haven't ever hunted it before for mule deer. I've hunted it for elk, but not for mule deer. So it's going to be interesting. And luckily, I actually don't live too far. I live probably like an hour away from some of the trailheads to hit up. And so my plan is yeah, I'm going to hit it pretty early. Once the snow melts, I'm going to start putting cameras out and just to have out for the whole summer and see kind of what's hanging around. The tough thing is you don't really know what kind of animals are going to be up there until like end of June, maybe, right? When those bucks start actually getting some growth on their horns. But you can at least like find some animals hanging around, throw some cameras out, find some game trails, springs, just plan camping spots. So I've got a bunch of that. The thing is also with my spot in Utah where I've hunted it for 2 years now, I feel like I could go in there without any scouting, and it might take me a day or two longer, but I'm gonna find, like, there's gonna be bucks in there, right? Like I'm gonna find deer, but I'm not gonna have that little, like, I'm not gonna if I go and scout it even for like one weekend, I'm gonna find those deer faster just because I've already been in there and I already kind of know where to start, right? So the problem with Utah is it's a little ways for me. It's a couple hours to drive down there and pack in for a weekend. So it's a little, and you can't have cameras up after August 1st. So it's like, is it even worth having cameras, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
So, what's your guys' plan for scouting this year?
I think, I mean, honestly, as soon as roads are, heck, even if roads aren't open in the high country, we'll probably find a way up there, probably before the deer even show up, just out of being the excitement. But I think probably once your bear hunt winds down, we'll just start heading up, in June.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. June. We, so there is water in the area that we're focused on. There's not a ton of water, but it's enough to keep us hydrated. But we also like to pack in water. And so, I mean, if nothing else, after it stops freezing at night, I think we're definitely going to start packing in water, even if we just don't look around a lot for animals because they're not up in the spots quite yet. I think we're just going to focus on making trips, putting water there, putting food there, maybe leaving a tent buried or something, because why not? It's just less weight to pack in, So
yeah, dude, that's a great idea, especially if you know for sure like that's the area you're gonna be in. Then like, might as well like pack food in, water, whatever. It's just gonna make that opening day like so much easier because you're not gonna be tired from packing all your stuff in or whatever,
Oh,
yeah,
it's worth it for sure if you know that's where you're gonna be, like, pack stuff in.
Yeah, it's just like ruck getting in.
Exactly.
Like a ruck, a nice little workout, right? Yeah.
We've talked about it, and so the way that our unit is, I mean, obviously we've talked about a few different spots that are kind of across from each other. They're not very close. So we figured, the best way to really go about this now is to just focus, because like I said, last year we were focused on 2 areas. This year, if we can just focus on one area and kind of refine our tactics that we used last year a little bit, I think that's kind of the best way to look at it for us. And that'll just take, it takes more time, but it's time that we're definitely willing to put in.
Yeah. No, that'll be good. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to cover? We're at like kind of 40 minutes right now, which is I usually keep them around here. We can talk for however long we want to, but is there anything else you guys want to go over?
I don't have anything. Isaac, what do you think?
I don't think so. Just thanks for having us here. As we're getting going with, like Joey said, with GUAB Outdoors, go give it a look on Instagram. That's what we have right now. We have a YouTube. We don't have anything on there yet, but fingers crossed. Nice. We get some good stuff out.
Actually, before we do go, because Isaac said GUAB one more time, we can tell a story of how GUAB came to be, because it's kind of funny.
Let's hear it.
So My dad, whenever we would go hunting as a kid, he would bring a snack, and it was just basically a homemade trail mix. Um, and he would put in like craisins and nuts and peanuts and chocolate chips and just a bunch of the stuff that you'd commonly find in the trail mix. But they were household items, so we wouldn't go and buy one from the store. Um, well, he called it gorp, and I think a lot of people call it that, even though it had a lot of different things in it that wasn't related to what that actually is. But I didn't know that was the name of it. I knew it was something funny like that. And so when I started going with Isaac, like when I was kind of mentoring him, I would bring that same snack, and I started calling it GUAB.
Nice.
Because I didn't know that that's what it was supposed to be. Anyways, so Isaac thought that was pretty funny, and then I started thinking it was pretty funny too. Kind of embarrassed at the beginning, but I don't know. It's a unique name, and obviously, like, there's no one else that has anything remotely close to that in our space.
Nope.
So we figure might as well go for it.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be
I
like,
think that's great.
It'll be like the Easter egg in anything we post. If you see like our GUAB or trail mix or whatever in there.
Nice. Start selling that.
Hey, yeah, get on the shelves.
We thought of that.
There you go. GUAB.
Yeah, no kidding.
I did think of another question, or I think two more things we can cover quick.
Okay.
Since this is like a podcast pretty centered around the creative side of stuff, I guess Isaac's probably the one to talk about this, but like what's your setup for this year? Did you get a camera, or are you still just running the iPhone? What are you guys' plan?
Let's go. Well, yeah, we still have like iPhone. Joey has a camera. I'll let him talk about that because it's his camera that we'll be using, I think, as well.
This is a hand-me-down from my parents, actually.
Perfect.
And so it's kind of outdated, but it's a Canon, and I'm pretty stoked about it. I got a microphone on it. It has a windbreaker. So I've been playing around with this a little bit. Isaac, obviously, is going to do a lot of the filming during the bear hunt. But I think it's good for both of us to really know, kind of the art behind the videography and photography and stuff too. So yeah, we'll do exactly what we did last year with the spotting scope, with the mag view, with the iPhone, and then for more of the picturesque shots, we'll get the Canon going on it.
Mm.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, I was just curious kind of what your guys' plans were for the year. So that's awesome. I mean, and starting with that, like you're saying, it's like it's a hand-me-down camera. Even just starting with something like that, or even your iPhone, is like perfect. Because at least you get to like learn and capture it, and you can still make a pretty good film just with an iPhone, or even just a cheaper, smaller camera. So that's awesome. I love that you guys are just like getting after it without thinking you need the best stuff out there. So it's good.
Yeah. No, that'll be good. No, you told us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what motivated us to just give it everything we got with what we have. So
yeah, good. What last thing, and then we'll wrap it up. But what's the long-term plan with GUAB Outdoors?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for me, my plan's kind of with grad school. I'm applying to med school right now, so I might be more involved in that, and then trying to dip my toes in as much as I can, and then jump into it. But Joey's got it set up.
Yeah, no, I mean, the long-term plan, I guess the way that we see ourselves, we kind of target an audience, like I said, that's learning and also understands that the backcountry lifestyle takes discipline. And so with that, we want to create a community, or a team, I guess is a word that I used to describe it earlier, of individuals who are passionate about the same things as us, kind of like I don't want to say a hardcore lifestyle, but like just a very hardworking lifestyle, and kind of grow as a community and make sure that everyone feels support when they need support, whether that is with hunting or with something else that kind of defines, a man or a woman that's disciplined. So we want to grow that community as much as possible.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'll just add, like, with that, I think for both of us, it's mostly about connections, not like, you know, nothing else really, just connections and trying to just learn from others along the way, honestly. Like, that's the thing I love about the hunting community is people are willing to help out, and, you know, we've all had people motivate us. And so just to create that, like Joe said, that community.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's good, dude. Thanks for coming on, you guys. We'll do this again maybe after wrap up, like after spring bear or something, or after the archery hunt.
Okay.
Maybe we'll meet up or something down there. But yeah, awesome. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
GUAB Outdoors.
It'd be cool to. Yeah.
Yeah, go
I was gonna say we'd be cool to come up to Idaho too and talk. So that's my old stomping grounds.
Yeah, true. I know that's where we met. So no, that'd be fun actually. We might should plan something up here. It'd be fun.
I think so.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Cool. Stay on here real quick, but I'll wrap it up. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.